You are listening to Independent Woman with Wine, the Christmas special. Welcome to Independent Woman with Wine. Tonight I have a very, very special guest. She was my first guest on my little podcast. Uh, a lot has changed with her this past year, and but you know what? She needs no introduction. Kasey, take the floor.
Thank you. Um, so my name is Kasey. I am a curriculum developer for Envoy Airlines. I have about 8 years of experience in the aviation industry. I was the first person to be interviewed by Independent Women with Wine, Miss Allie. And I'm just stoked to be back on. I think it's so great that we're doing this. I was so excited when you called me. And I'm super, super happy to be here.
It's around Christmas. I think I want to try and make this a tradition. Every year around
Okay.
Christmas, we have a little, little interview. Hopefully next year we can drink some eggnog.
Yes. Yeah,
You,
because we're not doing any more babies after this.
oh, no, you have done. The factory's done.
The factory's done.
That's awesome. But Casey, so it's been a little over a year. Um, what are you still working as a badass mechanic, mechanic?
I'm no longer turning wrenches on the plane. I am now developing the training material that goes out to our maintenance.
Wow, that is really, dude, you are so smart, huh? So, I mean, this
Many people who may see this might disagree. I think I'm pretty smart, but yeah,
you are. Don't listen to other people.
that's right.
Um, so when is the new baby due?
The new baby is due. You're going to love this. March 16th. So close to March
What?
15th. Yep, yep.
Why? Oh my God.
I know.
Oh yeah, I just remember we have that connection with birthdays, right?
Yeah.
So funny.
I know. I'm hoping that she will come on her own on March 15th. Um, so I don't know if we discussed this last time, but I had C-sections with the other two children that I had.
Mhm.
And it kind of, the first one, the baby was breech, and we didn't try to flip. I didn't even know that was a thing. Uh, so we just went ahead and scheduled the C-section like it was normal. And then with the second one, I had read about VBAC before and I brought it up to my OBGYN and I thought that they were very supportive, but she had told me at 39 weeks, if I don't go into labor on my own, then we would schedule a C-section. And so at 39 weeks and 3 days, I had a C-section. With this third one, I have finally done the research and realized that it's my body, my choice, that the risk of a uterine rupture is pretty low, 1 to 3%. And so I'm just like fingers crossed nothing happens and I can just go into labor naturally and have that experience of a natural birth.
But you have your first two was C-section?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I don't know, maybe it's an old wives' tale, but I heard once you have a C-section or two, you cannot have naturally.
Right. And it's not that it's a wives' tale, it's that was the medical advice that was given in the previous decades, but they've done more research and they've found that C-sections actually have more side effects than they originally thought, and that it actually is safe for women to have a VBAC as long as you've had a low horizontal C-section versus the higher up vertical C-section, which is what they used to do before they went to the lower vertical C or horizontal C-section. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, I never been pregnant, so I
But pregnant people were
yeah, so,
everywhere.
yeah. So I can only like suspect, how
Yeah,
does it feel? Yeah. Are the boys excited?
they're so excited. And it's crazy because the littlest one, the 4-year-old, he told us that it was a girl before. Like, as soon as we told him that we were pregnant, he's like, it's a girl. I'm going to name her Zelda, in which case he already had a name picked out. And, we went back and told him, we're like, well, we don't know, buddy. I'm only, 6 weeks pregnant, 5 weeks pregnant. He's like, well, I know, and it's a girl. And then we did our gender reveal, which was really cute. We used pink tetras and put them in the fish tank. So I didn't know what it was. I wanted to keep it a secret to myself, but my husband wanted to know immediately. And what's really cool is you can know the sex of your baby at like 10 weeks now through genetic testing. Before you'd have to wait until that anatomy scan. And then, gosh, do you remember when you would never know? It would just come out and you'd be like, it's a boy, it's a
I
girl.
know, and I also remember knowing people that they're thinking they're having a girl or a boy, and something else comes out.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. My Uncle Paul was supposed to be a girl the whole time my grandmother was pregnant. She was told that she was having a girl. And then, nope, little boy. Just crazy.
That's so funny. So you're still working for the same company, just not turning wrench?
Right. Right. So I don't know if we discussed this last time, but the way that it works where I'm at in the aviation industry is that we have a main air carrier and then we have like a regional air carrier. And then we have contracted maintenance. And so when I was turning wrenches, I worked for the contracted maintenance for the regional airline. Now I work for the airline, the regional airline, under the main carrier. Does
Mhm.
that make sense?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Pregnant, but exactly where you left me last year, working as a curriculum developer for an airline. What's been up with you?
Oh my gosh. I moved states. I completely switched my career. I have a brand new career. I have to learn everything. Like after 20 years doing basically the same thing, and my brain working one way with
Yeah.
this new career, I had to try to make my brain go to an opposite direction. So it's been weird. And I also found out, I mean, I suspected, but I found out that I'm not very good at retaining new information.
Aw. Well, you have to use it to retain it. Now, what I remember the last time we spoke is you were in a school or program to become a medical translator.
I was doing, so yeah, I was doing that. I took the classes and everything. But I'm not working with that. I did get a job with a company and they call you when they need you. So far, they called me once that I was able to go. And then
Right,
there was a couple other times that they called me because I have this new career at this place, you know. I'll go there part time. But they always call me on the days that I'm there. I'm like, I have a set schedule there. I have to pay bills, so I can just, drive an hour to
right,
Boston and back. And the pay is good, but it's not really worth it for me to drive a whole hour there, stay there for an hour and come back, drive a whole hour, the
yep,
pay is just not that worth it. If I was there
right.
still, different story. Yes, it would have been worth it, but no, yeah. Oh yeah.
So
So, and we have a
you
cat,
moved. Yes, I saw that. What is your cat's name?
Ollie. We call him he's
Ollie.
Oliver Queen, but we call him Olive. Ollie, MB Ollie.
Ollie and Allie. I love
Ollie.
it.
Yeah, and Richard.
And Richard. That's really, really cool. So what about this new career? What is that? Tell me about it.
So yeah, so I am working towards being a registered behavior technician. I work at a place that helps autistic children, you know,
Okay.
and it's really good. It's hard. It's so hard. I mean, the classes. I'm not very good
Right.
at retaining new information, so having to study hard. And sometimes I'm like reading this stuff, and I get to the end. I'm like, what did I just read?
And you gotta
I'm
read it
like,
again.
oh
Yeah,
my God, I just read this whole thing and I have no idea what I
that's what it's
just did.
like. to learn new stuff. I've totally been there, and you just keep reading it again until it clicks.
Until it clicks. Yes. Oh, I forgot to show you. I got this.
Okay, yeah, I got my necklaces too. We got our beads, our Christmas beads.
Are you guys going anywhere for Christmas?
We
So
were
thinking.
thinking about going to the DFW area and hitting up. There's like a big arcade out there, and then there's like a Peppa Pig thing, and possibly a Minecraft thing. I can't remember everything my husband said. We were thinking about going there for Christmas.
Your husband plays Minecraft?
Oh, we all play Minecraft. Yeah.
My
Yep.
stepson was into my Minecraft. Minecraft?
Yeah.
I have
Like
no
the
idea.
movie. You didn't go see the movie, I imagine.
No, but my stepson did. I actually paid for him to go as a gift.
That's
I didn't go.
awesome.
I made my husband take him. Like, here, it's your gift, but the dad will take you. I
Minecraft is
heard,
really fun.
yeah, I heard that movie was really good, and I also heard that a lot of kids were throwing food and popcorn at everyone, and the movie theater was all mad. The people at the movie theater were all mad about it, you know.
Huh.
What
I
I
mean, it was
yeah,
a movie made for children for sure. I don't think that it was made for anyone my age, but
but you have
I thought it
children.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They loved it. My little one is obsessed with Minecraft. All he talks about is Wither Storms and Steve and Alex and Crafty. Crafty is an online creator who plays Minecraft and makes a lot of videos on YouTube. And then Steve and Alex are like regular characters that are in Minecraft, I guess, the game. So constantly I'm getting hit with apparently there's a bunch of mods that you can get in Minecraft where it changes the biome, and I could easily fill up the podcast with telling you all about Minecraft because my 4-year-old has told me all about Minecraft and I've sat
Oh,
there
I
and played with
bet.
him. Yeah, he loves it.
I
My
bet
older son, he's more he'll play Minecraft, but he'd rather play
Roblox.
Fortnite. Oh
Oh,
yeah, he loves Roblox, which I still can't. Minecraft, I understand. Roblox, I watch him play that. And I'm like, this looks boring. So,
so my stepson set me up with this Roblox. First it was a grow a garden. But I'm like,
okay.
super bored. You just go buy seeds and you plant, you collect. There's some other stuff that I don't know what to do with it, you know? And a lot of stuff that I click on, I have to pay with real money. I'm like, no, I'm not, no. And then I think the next time he put me on still a brain rot. He's obsessed with this.
I'm fighting everything in me to not just blurt out brain rot to you because so is my 4-year-old. And I know so much brain rot now that, like, yeah, I'll be in the kitchen and we'll be going back and forth with brain rot to each other. He'll say some brain rot, I'll say some brain rot. It's an interesting world we live in for sure.
God. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm not playing. I only play when he's here because I don't get every time I'm there without because he told me, don't play without me because people are gonna steal your stuff. And I'm like, what?
How old is he?
He's almost 12. Yeah.
Okay, okay. That's
Yeah.
funny. My 4-year-old all the time, he's like, "I'll protect you. Don't worry. I'll protect you from the zombies, mommy." Like constantly just telling me like it's really cute. It's nice that they have a way to try to like care for us, you
Uh-huh.
know?
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. And then I decided to go in without him and the other people there stole my stuff. He was so mad because thank God I didn't give you my house. Remember you wanted my house as one of the characters that made a lot of money, you know? And I'm like, let me have that one. He goes, no, and it was really hard for me to get it. And then he said, thank God I didn't give you my house.
Well, yeah, why would you go in there after he already told you?
I didn't know it was so bad, you know?
What? No, you did know. You just didn't believe.
So yes.
So funny. Um,
Oh, that's how
it's
he talks about it. We're like super broke this year, so we told him, like, Joshua, you know the situation here this year, because I switched jobs. I
yeah,
mean, my boss just told me in June, listen, by the end of August, we don't need you anymore. You know,
right.
and now I make a quarter of what I used to make. You know,
Oh,
yeah, because I'm working. Not only I'm making less money by by hour, I am working part time. So
right,
we're telling him like, so think about what you're gonna ask because things are tight. And he goes,
right,
how about a robot gift card?
right.
And we're like, okay, how much? And he goes, $100. I'm like, no. And me and my husband, I was like, how about $20? He goes, okay.
That's reasonable, I think. $20 for sure.
On a
That reminds
freaking
me.
game, spend real money on a freaking game.
Yeah, it sounds like such a wild concept to us, right? Because I would never, never, but that's how these kids have grown up. It's so normal. Back when they were born, Facebook was charging money to play those games, you know? So they just grew up in it. They're like, yeah, give me some money to spend. I want a new skin. I'm like,
Oh,
oh, gosh, don't you want real food? No,
right.
they don't want that.
We went to the grocery store a couple of months ago, and he went with me. And we're walking. Suddenly he jumped in front of me, and it was like a looking everywhere. And I'm like, what's going on? He goes, I just found $20 on the floor.
Oh, lucky him.
I know. And then I'm like, and then we got home, because he was like, maybe the owner gonna come back, but I didn't even connect. I'm like, if the owner show up, you give it back. But in
Right.
my head, I was just so like, what just happened?
Yeah,
So we came back, we were asked, what are you gonna do with the money? I'm gonna put on Roblox.
of course you are. It must be nice to be 12.
Right? Oh my God, yes.
Yep.
Must be nice.
That's what I think of. My son's 14, and anytime he complains, I just think, ah, must be nice to be 14. Wait till you're an adult. But
Are you gonna put him, does he want to work? I don't know. What's the minimum wage in Texas to
then
work?
you can work at 14 in Texas. He does want to work. However, the places that hire are in town for me, and I already told him that I was not willing to drive back and forth
Oh,
in
okay.
town for minor hours. Now, he will be getting his license and driving on his own at 16. So he's welcome to work if he wants. But in my household, I started working when I was 16 and I haven't stopped since. And I told him, I said, I know you want to be independent and you want your own money, but once you start working, that's how life is. You never stop. So just enjoy being a kid, enjoy being under 18, enjoy living under our house and letting us pay for your stuff. Don't get a job. But he
No,
already told me he
no
wants a
bill,
job. So
no bills, you know.
yeah. I did tell him that he would have to help pay his car insurance, but I also told him I was like, I have so many jobs for you around the house, and it's just nicer to work for your parents than it is to work for a
Oh
company
yeah.
that expects you to be where you said you're going to be and everything else. So, but kids they're ready to grow. They're ready to be on their own far before they were willing to let them go, you
Um,
know?
I remember when I turned 15, I was telling my mom, I am 15 years old. You don't tell me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I would go back to 15 a heartbeat. I would go back to be 10 years old.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
could
I feel the same way.
sleep, not get up to go to work,
Yeah.
go to
Let me just do the
school.
dishes,
I know,
vacuum. Sure. I'd love that.
right?
Uh,
Oh
but
man.
but
Uh, uh,
my oldest is in an interesting position because he's much older than my younger two. He's 10 years older than my youngest, and he'll be 15 years older. than my youngest, right? So I feel like I'm harder on him than I probably need to be. But as the eldest child, he's got to set the example for the other ones, you know?
Hmm.
Especially because he'll be in his 30s when my youngest is 15. He'll be like that cool older brother that has his whole life together, hopefully, you know?
Yeah. Wow,
So,
he'll be 30 when she's 15.
two totally different parts of their lives. He'll be in such a different season than she is, you know?
Yeah, he
And I'm
might be
hoping
married
that,
with family or, graduated college. Mm.
yep. I wonder mathematically, let's say he had a kid at 20. No. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking. Edit that bad math out. I was thinking, will he ever have kids older than her? No, because he better not be having no kids
No, I was
anytime
about
soon.
to say, don't say that. You don't want him to have a kid at 20.
No. You
Too
know,
young.
I had my first kid at 20. I don't think it would bother me if he did. I would definitely be there to support and help him. I just, I think that a lot of people look at parents that are young and kind of turn their nose at them, but I loved having my kid at 20, you know?
Uh-huh.
Kept me able to run after him and do things that I have a lot of energy for versus being in my 30s and chasing a 4-year-old now. Like, can we just sit down for a moment? You know?
They have a lot of energy. Oh my gosh.
It never stops. I
No.
watch my 4-year-old run around the house just from the front door to the back door over and over again. I'm like, how is that entertaining in any way?
You said you guys are not going anywhere for Christmas?
Oh no, we are.
Oh
We
yeah,
planned on going
sorry.
to, yeah, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
To DFW. Are you guys planning on going anywhere?
No, we're just gonna go to my sister's house, and then on the 26th, we're gonna go to my husband's son's house. Um, See the family, the grandchildren there, you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just laid back, nothing, nothing big,
nothing
nothing
too
too
bad.
much. Yeah, yeah.
I
Do you, yep.
I was gonna say I don't think we're gonna do anything super big outside of going to DFW, and that's really just letting the kids play in the arcade and go to the mall. I don't think we're doing a big Christmas dinner or like anything like that. We kind of said the same thing. We were like, hey, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on gifts this year. I just want to do something with the kids and keep the gifts real small this year.
Mm. Oh yeah,
So,
we're only doing very, very cheap gifts this year. Chip. Yeah, we're going on a cheap side this year too, because yeah, things are tight. Told
you
my
know what I
sister,
am?
I told my sister, expect your gifts to come from the dollar store. You're
Well,
like,
you know what?
no, I'd rather not have anything.
Well, a Christmas card is nice too. I think I really missed that part of Christmas. I got a Christmas card last year from my boss's boss, and I enjoyed that more than
My
almost
God,
anything.
I send Christmas cards every year, and I meant to get your address when we did the interview last year so I could send you.
Aw, well, I'll
And
give it to you. I mean, after, clearly, but
yeah, no, send it to me and I'll put it on the mail. I
you
swear
sure
I'm
it's just
not.
apple cider in
I
there?
was about to say, I swear I'm not drunk. It is apple cider. Oh, I put on the mailbox tomorrow.
Okay, I would love that. And that way I'll have your address too. I can
Yeah.
send you a Christmas card.
I love doing Christmas card. I love it. And now we moved. I'm so concerned I'm not gonna get as many as before.
Oh,
Even though I send out the Christmas card kind of early, right after Thanksgiving. But I don't know. I did get two in the mail today. So at my old apartment, when you can come in, in the living room, there was like an arch, right?
yeah.
I would hang all the Christmas card all around. And
Yes.
I have three on the wall over there. I'll show it to you later. And it's counting with our own Christmas card.
It's my favorite tradition. My grandmother used to do that too, and she would have Christmas cards around two doors, and we'd always walk up and read them and put them back, and she'd like keep them and put them out every Christmas. So it wasn't just the ones that she got that year, it was all the Christmas cards she got from the years before.
My friend did that too, you know. I only do the that year, and especially here, all the other Christmas cards from the other year that I saved, they're all in storage. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, so what I really want to ask you about is your book.
Yeah.
Please tell me about your book. I am so
Um,
excited.
so it's just not my book. It's like there's the story of 12 ladies,
Oh, yeah.
and everyone share something about their lives. Okay. I haven't read all the book yet. Don't tell them. But we'll just share. Like my last interview, I interviewed this girl from Australia who went through some abuse in her own family, and she wrote about that. And she has all the books. A lot of them have all the books, and I'm just there. This girl from Brazil who just share her transition from Brazil to here, you know. And everybody's there. Yeah, I went through this, and I wrote this book, that book, and I'm like, who am I? There's a
But you know what?
conference. Uh-huh, go ahead.
I was going to say your story is still important because leaving your home country to start in another country, that's a big thing.
Yeah. One of the things, so this weekend there is a conference in Texas. Remember I asked you how far are you
Yes,
from
yes,
Dallas, Texas? Because
yes.
I was planning to go, but you know, life is lifing, and obviously I'm not going. But some of them are there for this conference. It's like a, I don't know what you should call it. It's a conference about the book, you know, and I'm not there, but they're all gonna talk about their part on the book. They're gonna answer questions and everything. There will be a online conference in February, and I will be a part of it. Yeah.
Okay,
It's fun.
awesome.
It's on the Amazon, you know, that anyone can go there and order. My sister ordered right away. That we had this meeting like a couple of days after the book was launched on Amazon. She goes, we had two orders. And I'm like, one is my sister.
I love that.
Yeah.
Um, is the link posted on your Facebook?
Of the Amazon
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's in there. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Because I'm taking this class and you know all the stuff in life, I'm not posting as much as I should because we should supposed to be promoting, you know. But the link is definitely there. I do have a couple of links there. Post with the link over there. Yeah.
okay. Because I
Yeah,
want to, I don't know if you remember last year, I was doing some digital marketing and affiliate marketing
yeah.
with
I was gonna
Legacy.
ask about that. You're not doing that anymore?
So I'm not doing it with Legacy anymore. Um, my curriculum developer job really picked up, and I just didn't have time to do anything online. And then now the same thing has happened where the holidays are here. We've slowed down a little bit. And I was like, downtime. That means I need to find something else to do. So I've invested in a different one, which is Embrace the Space.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have started to grow back up my following on my main TikTok account, which is where I sent my last friend request from. So I am doing that and I'm learning all about affiliate marketing with Embrace the Space. And so that's why I was asking about your Amazon. Are
Mm-hmm.
you still doing any affiliate marketing with Amazon?
So yes and no, because through the TikTok, because I got into the TikTok shop, you know,
I
but
finally got into. Yeah. Yes.
I never knew how to do, like how do I get the companies to send me stuff so I can do the videos. And then I saw some comments. I don't remember if it was on TikTok, but somebody was complaining how the brands that send you stuff are some are very picky with the type of video you make. And I'm like, I have full-time job. I cannot deal with, this. So I never went after. But I started, not started yet. Open an Amazon account to actually sell things on my own, not related to TikTok at all.
Right.
But when I was trying to sign up for it, they're charging me. And I know like you can do it for free, but because of TikTok shop that I am there as an influence on Amazon influence account, they wouldn't let me have for free. So I'm dealing with that. So of last week of December, I am gonna have a ton of free time, not working, anything like that. So I'm gonna take a deeper look into that to see if I can sign up because I don't want to pay. I just want to start and see how it's gonna go. Yeah.
When you started your Amazon affiliate, did you go to the bottom of the Amazon page and click become an affiliate, or how did you get to that?
I
Because I
I
go
don't
on.
I don't
Okay.
remember.
Well, I just set up my Amazon affiliate and that's what I did. I scrolled to the bottom, become an affiliate because I was thinking along the lines of I'm about to be purchasing so many baby products again. And for every, um, oh gosh, my brain. For every time someone clicks on my link for something that I bought baby related and purchases, I'll make a small commission off of that.
Oh yeah, that's the one that I have on right now. But I
Okay.
wanna get away from that. I don't wanna like buy something and then because I did that, and it didn't work. But I didn't also invested so much time on it also. But what I wanna do is just like I have this box that my mom left full of jewelry that's like cheap stuff, but they're brand new, still in a package. So I'm thinking of putting them up for sale on Amazon, like selling my own stuff. I have tons of makeup brush, brand new, in a in sealed in a container, on the they're wrapping, the original wrapping, as they say. And I want to put that for sale also on Amazon, but I want to do Amazon, have Amazon ship. So I have to get everything, prepare everything, send to them so they can ship from over there.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was
So
going to
yeah.
say TikTok lets you open up your own store too and
Yeah.
send your own products, but I really don't know enough about it to say one's better than the other.
Yeah.
But
No, I was like, oh, it's TikTok's kind of complicated sometimes. It's like they don't make it
please,
super easy for you to understand. Like I need
no, they
something like
don't.
if I'm a 2 year old, click here. Ooh, red button, green button.
Yes. And some of their links, you'll click them and it'll be like not found. I'm like, well, why is it in
Yeah.
here then?
Hmm.
If this link doesn't exist, why do you have a page that says click this link to learn more?
Oh
You
yeah.
know? Shameless plug, embrace the space. That's what they teach you also for TikTok and a bunch of other different things. I haven't made it to that module yet. I just started literally 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
but that is one of the reasons that I went back to embrace the space is because I got over 1,000 followers on TikTok and I was like, yay, now I can start doing TikTok shop and making fun little promotional videos for, I ended up purchasing lashes and some tint for my eyebrows and some lip tint. And I was like, yeah, this will be fun. And then I went to go join the TikTok pilot program and I couldn't get in, even though I had over 1,000 followers. And so then I went down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out why, because that was my understanding. The three requirements, right, is over 1,000 followers, good standing account, and I think in the United States, I think that's one of them for the requirements in order to do the TikTok pilot program. And every time I kept searching, either in TikTok Studio or in the monetizing area, I couldn't find anything for it. And then a bunch of people would have videos on TikTok about how to get into the TikTok shop, and you'd click it, and it wouldn't have anything to do with what you were looking
Okay.
for. Well, essentially, I got into the TikTok shop, and then I couldn't get into the TikTok shop. So I was left in limbo trying to figure out why it wasn't giving me access. And yeah, it was crazy. But anyway, turns out what it was is there's just I guess there's a 30-day hold, which it didn't take me 30 days. It took me 4 days after I got over 1,000 followers. But eventually I found the link that said it, that one's my favorite. I like that one the most. I think it's really cute. Um, yeah, you're distracting me. Anyway, that's what it was. I just had to wait for TikTok to give me access. I thought it would be like at least within 24 hours, maybe not instant, but within 24 hours access to the TikTok shop. But it took 4 days. Do you remember how long it took for you after you got over 1,000?
No. And also I joined TikTok shop before I had 1,000.
Oh, how'd you do that?
I don't know. There was a lot of people and that I think they had a glitch because everybody said, "Oh, you have to reach 1,000, blah 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 blah." But then I got in, and then there was a bunch of people that only had 200 followers. They're like, "I got on a TikTok shop," and I'm like, "Cool," you know.
Yeah, maybe it's based on views too. Because
Um,
some girl told me that I could get in at 700, but I couldn't figure out where that would be to request access before
But,
1,000.
but
Ooh, I
did you
almost shut
try?
off my light. No, because I couldn't figure out where the link was.
Oh,
So, but I eventually figured it out. But that's why I like this course, is because I don't have to do a bunch of guesswork. I just have to click the modules and do the learning, which I
mhm.
think is really, really cool.
Yeah,
It's
some people
fun.
make a full-time living out of the TikTok shop. Do you remember when they
Yes.
were trying to shut down TikTok in the US? There was
I
a
do remember
lot
that.
of people making videos begging, please don't do that. That's, and on the news also they were also talking about this, how some people actually make a living out of it.
Yes.
But
Yep.
I couldn't deal with like working full time and still have the pressure to come home and make videos, you know. I want to like I don't know if you've been to my page on TikTok. I have went a long period of time without posting anything, you know. So I don't want to like have the pressure. And also, I took a long and extended break from podcast. I didn't
You
pick up.
did.
Yeah, yeah. I had in the beginning of the year, I had a couple interviews, and then I think my last interview before the break that I didn't even know I was gonna take, you know, I think it was April or May. I got really depressed. Like depression just settled in on me. I was not getting out of bed to do anything. I was only getting out of bed to go to work. I was skipping showers, which I never, ever, ever in my life skip shower. I mean, I cannot go to sleep if I don't take a shower, you know?
Yeah.
I was
Yep.
skipping showers. I couldn't get out of bed. I was just like on a rot, like a rut, whatever you guys call it, you know?
Yeah.
And then we were moving. I was freaking out with our moving. I mean, I moved from Brazil by myself, didn't know anyone, didn't know the language, and it didn't phase me. I moved to California, moved back here, and then I'm moving. Yeah, it's another state, but it's 1 hour. And I have a husband. I'm not even by myself. I am freaking the fuck out. I was
Yeah.
crying every day. Like, oh my God. Like I don't know why this was happening. I was just like, in a way, I was like, oh my God, I am what? I cannot move. It was just insane. And once we moved, I calmed down, but I was still like, not wanting to do anything, you know. And every time people ask me, I'm like, I would be like, yeah, I have to pick up podcast again. And then I was like, I keep saying I don't have, you know. I don't
Right.
have to do this podcast. It's not an obligation, you know. And then I'm like, do I want? So for a time, I was like, maybe I don't want to do it anymore because I kept saying, I have, I have. I'm like, no, I'm just not gonna pick it up if I don't feel like it. And then one day, I'm like, oh my God, I really want to go back to podcast. I'm like, yay, I said I want to go back to podcast. All right.
That's key.
So,
That's
yeah.
really key. Um, I hear a lot of people preach discipline and doing what you don't want to do as a way to be successful. And that's never resonated with me ever. If I'm not ready to do something, I'm not ready to do it. And I think discipline is important. I think doing things that you don't like to do to get to your main goal is important. Like, oh, I hate taking notes, but I have to go to class. You
Yeah.
know, you should at least love the class. You
Mm-hmm.
may hate taking notes, but don't make like a big thing that you don't want to do
Yeah.
this sin and then force yourself to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's discipline. I think that's torture.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, so once I was like, hmm, I feel like I'm feeling like getting into it.
Better.
A couple of weeks ago, I interviewed one of the girls from my book. Yeah, and I put it out like last week, I think. From yeah, last week. Took me a couple of weeks to edit. I was kind of slow on the editing thing because, as I told you, I cannot retain new information. So I had
Yeah.
to like relearn, not like completely forgot because I did quite a few podcasts. So like I completely forgot the steps of do the editing, but I had to go slow. And it was good because in a process I learned a couple of things new in an editing process. That's gonna make my processing, my my post production a little easier.
What do you use for editing? Because I was trying to edit a long video like this and I just gave up. I was like, this is ridiculous.
So I have a MacBook and I use the iMovie to edit.
Okay.
Do you have a Mac? A Mac? Do you deal with Mac or no?
Mm, no.
But I'm sure, like PC, like Windows, they have something. I Googled, like, how can I edit a video on a MacBook? And it told me,
Gotcha.
I move right there, you know? And honestly, I bought the laptop for to do a podcast, to do the podcast. But I
Right.
didn't even need a laptop to do a podcast. I could have used my iPhone the whole time for the recording, for the editing. Because here on the iPhone, you also don't have an iPhone, but I'm sure the other Samsung or Android, I'm sure they also have. But the clips, there's iMovie here too, and there's also clips that you can split or shortener, the videos. Yeah. It's
Yeah, I don't
Google.
know that this has the capability to do that. It seems like I can only trim it. I can't actually edit within my Samsung, and I could be wrong about that, but that's what it seems to me. And
Mhm.
if I try to upload a long video to like CapCut or TikTok or things like that, it's like absolutely not, you know?
Mhm.
So I was trying to figure out what might be the best thing for me. My little laptop doesn't have the powering processor to do any type of editing with the software that's pre-installed on it because I tried to use it to edit a Zoom call and it just crashed and I was like, ugh.
Mhm.
So I know I have the capability on my work laptop because editing is something that I do all the time on there,
Oh,
but I was like, I don't want to mix the two. I
I
think I'll
see.
have to invest in actually I have a nice work laptop from a previous job. I think I'll just have to move all of my personal stuff to that one because
Yeah,
it's got more of a processing power. But I was just curious. Thanks for sharing.
yeah. So when I started, it just became so it was just me talking, and I would be like, "So I'm gonna talk about this," and hit pause, take a deep breath, and say the next phrase. So I didn't
Right.
know how
Yeah.
to cut anything, just leave something out of it. I had no idea, but that's what I was doing. But like learning by trying to like remember the steps that I did before doing that, the editing, I learned a couple
Yeah.
more. You are married, you have two children, one on the way. Is there any like tradition that you guys do with the kiddos?
No, we're not big on tradition here. And I think part of that is because my husband worked nights for a long time while I worked days. And so we didn't really get to do a whole bunch together at the beginning of our relationship. And so I also don't know if it's just maybe our generation is a little less
Mhm.
tradition bound or the fact that we are not near our families, but we just really don't do a tradition short of we put up the tree, we decorate the tree, and then that's it, tradition wise.
So me and my husband, I mean, we've been married just for 3 years, but being an adult here in America, my mom wasn't here for a while, and just me and my sis, we always in Brazil, you said basically the big celebration is on Christmas Eve, you know? So we do our thing on Christmas Eve. So my sister has a boyfriend. So we do our family, me and my sisters, Christmas Eve. On the 25th, she goes with the boyfriend to his family, you know?
Yeah,
Then I have my other sister who's, single. She's just like, I'm gonna go home and do nothing. You know, she enjoys, the holiday, no working, right?
right.
And that's what we do. But growing up in Brazil, it was always at my grandmother's house or one of my uncles. Just this huge party, so many people, so many food, and we couldn't eat until it was midnight. Yep. You had to wait for that clock to strike midnight to eat the food.
That's insane.
Yeah, to this day, me and my sister will talk about like we're kids and we are hungry and couldn't eat.
Until midnight, that's
Yeah.
like so when I was a kid, we would have a set time too. Like it was probably like two or four, something reasonable where the whole family would sit down. But midnight, who's even awake at midnight? Like,
Brazilians.
what are
Brazilians
you
are
guys
like,
doing the whole time that you're waiting on the food?
oh, I was a kid. We're probably playing, running somewhere, and my grandma, her house was across the street from my uncle's. So I was just like back and forth from one house to the other. I don't even remember, but I'm just remembering running a lot between the two houses.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
will say it was bittersweet thinking about my childhood and growing up because we did grow up in a family that did that, where we would all go to our grandparents' house every Christmas, every Thanksgiving. We'd see our cousins, we'd laugh, we'd run around, and it was like my favorite thing. Like even thinking back now, that is my happiest moments in my childhood was getting to go to my grandparents. And then as they got older and as we got older, it became something less magical. You
Mhm.
know, they eventually got too old to be hosting, and then the family had issues, so then some people wouldn't come anymore. And now it's divulged into just me and my little crew here. And you know, I don't know. I truly wish that my kids got to experience it the way that I got to experience it.
Mhm.
Because while it's magical to them, Christmas, it's never exactly, what
What
it
it
was
is.
for me.
Yeah. It's definitely very different
Okay.
now.
So, with it being Christmas, I'm very curious, a very generic Christmas question. What is on your Christmas list? What is one thing that you would love to have this Christmas?
That's so funny. That's about what I'm gonna ask. What I was gonna ask you.
Thank you. Okay.
So my question for you was gonna be if you could give yourself one Christmas gift that isn't a thing, a feeling, a blessing, a moment, what would it be?
Oh
It
man,
was-
easy.
Go ahead.
Especially because I was just talking about it. Dude, I would give anything to go back to having a Christmas with my grandparents the way it used to be, where my favorite thing was that every year we would want to sit at the adult table, which was held in the dining room and had all the adults. And we'd always end up at a card table or something in the living room for the kids' table. And like being 9, 10, 11, 12, being like, oh, I can't wait until I turn 18 so I can sit at the adult table. But in reality, someone would have to pass away in order for there to be a vacant spot there. So even as an adult, going back to those Christmas meetings that we would have, I'd still be sitting at the kid table. Like, luckily all the other people there were adults too. So we didn't really have a kid table there for a hot minute because we didn't have any kids yet. But
Mm.
I miss it. I miss it so much.
Yeah.
And I miss seeing my cousins and it like just the constant laughter and the constant chatter. And I remember bringing my oldest dad to one of the family gatherings and him being like, "You guys are way too loud," which should have been a red flag, honestly, to begin with. But he's like, "You guys are just so loud when you're around each other." And I was like, "Well, one, we have to talk over each other. Otherwise, they're not going to hear." Like, and then two,
Are you
we're
sure
really funny.
are you sure you don't come from a Brazilian family?
Listen, we had, and I don't mean this to be like racist when I say it, but it's the only thing that I can to like I didn't know any Brazilians, but I knew a lot of Puerto Ricans,
Uh-huh.
and they were the funnest people to be around. Okay. So I
Uh-huh.
don't know if like Brazilian and Puerto Rican culture is similar, but I
I
know
think
that
it's similar, like a Mexican, Brazilian, sport, all this like a huge part of the Latin America. There's chains, but we're all very like loud, you know?
and just festive. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Uh-huh.
the Puerto Ricans, my favorite thing about them, they used to all be on Dock 5 when I first got hired as a mechanic. And they would come in on the night shift and they would crank up their music and they would all be like dancing together, just like six grown men just in front of an airplane living la vida loca or like I sound silly. I sound so basic, but
Yeah.
I loved it. And like their happiness was infectious. They didn't exclude people. They wanted everybody to enjoy where they were.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my favorite thing is Doc 5 having like six Puerto Ricans there. So,
Um, like you asked me what's on my Christmas list this year.
yes.
Honestly, I haven't given much thought. I am so preoccupied and stressed. I have boo-boos. I have stress bubbles on my mouth, like I eat
Yes. Yeah.
around my fingers. It's just I have so much fun just trying to like be okay. Just like that I have not even given a thought about what I would want. Anything like if we're talking about material things. And I mean, but I just want like what I keep wishing, I just want to end the year in a peaceful note, which has been peaceful, but I am stressed, you know. Uh,
Right.
but just like hoping for the stress to pass and just have, a peaceful 2026. Nobody sick, you know, nobody having an accident, Um, but if I truly could have one wish, like for real, it would be similar to yours. It would be to see my dad one more time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those things
Well,
we can't have.
exactly. Yeah, both my grandparents they passed away. I think my grandmother had already passed away the first time we did our interview, and then my grandfather passed away last March. So
This
that
March?
is, well,
Oh yeah,
2024.
no, your grandfather just passed this March,
Hmm.
and your grandmother
No,
last year.
no, no, no. Grandma passed away in 2021, later in the year. And then granddad passed away in 2024 of
Oh,
March.
okay, okay. I was gonna ask what is a Christmas memory that still warms your heart, but I think we talked about that, right?
Well, I can share one from my granddad.
Oh, okay, go
Um,
ahead.
my granddad was a really difficult person to be around when you were a little kid because we all thought that he just could not stand us. Our grandmother watched us most of the time, and she would be like, "All right, you guys need to clean up and get out of the living room and leave your granddad alone. He's going to come home and watch his shows." And like we were just taught, like, I guess to not watch out for granddad, but like to stay away from him so he could relax after work. And then as we got older, we kind of realized he wasn't as scary as we thought he was, or as we had been led to believe, I guess. And I remember one Christmas, I got his name for the white rabbit, and I got him a green wig for Christmas. And I don't know, like I didn't really know what to expect his reaction to be, but there was always like a little bit of fear and hesitance, you know? But
Uh-huh.
then he like put it on and like smiled and laughed, and he wasn't so serious and he wasn't so scary. And that was a moment that like I felt kind of made because I was really, really close to my granddad between the ages of 13 and probably 20. When I turned 20, that's when I got in that relationship with that man that was my son's father, and he prevented me from seeing my family a lot, and it was to say an unfun relationship. We talked about it in our last interview, but he kind of barricaded me from my family, and that put a big wedge between my grandparents and myself. I remember coming back to visit them years after uh, I had left my oldest dad, or we left mutually. I don't say, or we split mutually. I don't say, like I left him. Anyway, some trauma there. But I remember getting, to see them and them, being happy that I was back, and me saying, like, I thought that maybe you guys didn't want me to come because I had spent so much time away from you. I
Aw.
don't want to come in your podcast,
I know.
but
No, no,
just,
hey, do what you have to do. Don't worry.
yeah. Well, if anyone's ever been there before where you
Oh, yeah.
kind of leave your family out, there's a lot of guilt there to choose your spouse over your family. And I would never recommend anyone do that, but to get that closure from both of them before they passed away,
Hmm.
it means a lot.
I bet. Yeah. But that's good that you got that, you know? You got
Yeah,
that to have that with him. So not,
with both of them, because I was real close to my grandmother too. Um, but yeah, that green wig. And I just remember that Christmas present. What a weird Christmas present to give your grandfather to begin with, but his reaction. And he was actually a really, really wonderful guy.
hmm. What is your favorite holiday comfort food treat or treat?
It's the gingerbread.
The
I,
gingerbread, like the gingerbread house or just the cookie?
all of it, the frosting, the candy, gingerbread in general. I like decorating it with the kids. I love eating it with the kids. That's my favorite. That's my comfort food. I look forward to it every year. I guess that might be the closest thing to a tradition that we have is that we spend the overpriced amount for buying a gingerbread house from, the store or wherever. And, it actually used to stress me out when it was just me, David, or my husband, and my oldest, because I would let him build and he would do it so wrong. And I would want to be like, no, that's not how you build a gingerbread house. But now that I have a second kid, I have kind of realized like it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be perfect. So I really like that. And it tastes better when it's not perfect anyway. So
I got a couple boxes of gingerbread house last year because I hosted Christmas and I wanted to, make it fun to have a competition who finished first, who did it better. So we split it in two groups. My group did okay. It was me, my sister, and her boyfriend. My sister just gave up halfway. The other group gave up in the very beginning, but me, I think my sister's boyfriend felt bad. Oh my gosh, this girl did all of this for this Christmas party, and I'm gonna do it. But I think he felt bad for me because he stuck to the end. But it was fun, just that some people in my family, they can be a Grinch, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
and my husband was just like, I'm like, there's a a video of me. Look with me, and he's just like, I'm like, you're from America. You never done that before. I mean, I'm from Brazil, and I love this. And he's just like looking. What is this? What is this Brazilian people doing? As if we were doing something Brazilian weird, you know?
You're like, this is your tradition. What are
Right?
you?
Yes. But it was fun. It was fun, you know? Yeah. And then we threw it away because everybody was weirded out about all the hands that touch it, you know?
Speaking of that, do you remember bobbing for apples?
I've never done it. I was always afraid. But I remember like going to parties. I mean, as a child, as a teenager, yeah, but I never did it.
So I remember doing it all the time as a kid. Not necessarily a teenager, but definitely as like a little kid under 8. And I was watching a video of like people doing it, and I was like, ew, gross. Why would my parents ever let me do something like that? But it was like we were all lined up, ready to bob for an
But
apple. So,
kids don't think about the gross things, you know? Like
mhm.
when I was a teacher, 5, 6 years old in my class, and touching everything else, and I'm like, listen, I was a nurse assistant. I've changed grown-up poopy diaper. I have less issue with grown-up poop than I have with children slime coming out of their nose, their mouth.
That
It
is
was
for
like,
sure gross. I helped out. This is before we did our first interview together, but I did help out at a daycare that my son went to. And yeah, they would just be walking around with the brightest, greenest stuff. And I'm like, we got to wipe that. We got to wipe that right now. How are they still walking around with that? And it's because you'd wipe it and then turn around and guess what? You didn't accomplish anything. You should have just left it there, because now we got two streams coming down, but I can't stand to see it either.
I have this memory that I was probably not even 5 years old. It was raining, and the little girl, I guess, in the neighbor house, we went, the pipe that goes down the house, the water comes from the gutter and goes all the
Oh,
way
yep.
down to the bottom. Yeah, I have the memory of me, who's borderline germaphobe now. I'm not a full-blown germaphobe, but I am borderline. Drinking that water.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
well,
Yeah.
you didn't know what was in the gutter.
No,
You
no,
weren't an
but
adult.
kids don't know. They don't know anything, you know?
No, they don't. And somehow they survive, which blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I've seen some stuff that I'm like, how are you not sick from that? Um, my 4-year-old last week or the week before, he was like, I think he, you know what? I actually think I'm getting this mixed up with a video that I saw. I don't remember what he asked me, but I think I saw a video of a mom saying that her son asked her if he could eat eye boogers. And then, of course, like the follow-up of the mom was like, no, why? And he was like, oh, just wondering, or or he already ate it, or I don't know. But kids are gross for
Oh,
sure.
so
Yucky, yucky.
um,
So I remember my dad all the time not sharing his snacks with us and being like, don't stick your hands in my food. And me being like, that's weird. Like, don't you love us? And I'm an adult now. And I'm like, she'll pour it in a bowl for you. Okay, sweetie? Mommy pour it in a bowl for you. Like, I've seen where your hands have been today. No, thank you.
oh my God, yeah. Oh, children.
Let me ask you,
Uh-huh.
when you're doing your Christmas celebrations, do you find yourself drawn to making stuff in the kitchen or being like out in the open and like socializing? Like where's your happy place, your happy Christmas place?
So because the only like Christmas celebrations that I have here in America is with my two sisters and now my husband, my sister's boyfriend. We tend when I host, when I host a few years ago, I cooked everything and I really enjoyed. I love doing both. I would go in the kitchen, do a little something, go back, you know. Last year, I think I cooked one thing and I ordered the rest, you know. Yeah.
Right.
But I enjoy both, you know. I love getting drunk. Not drunk, 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 but like
No, no, no. I understand.
you
Yeah.
know, like
Yes,
lose a little. Yeah. Yeah, what about you?
for sure. I would rather be talking to people and enjoying a glass of champagne. I hate cooking. I hosted 2 years ago for my friend that lives next to us because there for a minute we were doing Thanksgiving and Christmas together. And she'd always hosted the years before. So I was like, I'm a big girl. I can do it. Let me try. And so I did. And I said, well, I hated that. So never again. Thank you for everything you do. And if you ever need like money or anything like that, because we would split the meat and stuff like the big ticket items, and I would always send her stuff. But as far as like preparing the sides and things, she would do that, and I would be like, "Yay! I didn't have to do the hard stuff. Woohoo!" One time I made a cake and I tried to bring it and it wasn't baked all the way through, and I told her I was like, "We're not having chocolate cake. Sorry." Uh, in my defense, though, my son pulled it out of the oven because he heard it going off and
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't near. And I was like, well, maybe it'll be okay. Let me just cut into it. But even when he pulled it, I was like, nah, this is raw. We shouldn't have pulled it. But when I'm baking, I always set my timer before it's due, not when it's due, because it's much easier, to be like, that needs 10, 15 more minutes than it is to be like, that's 10, 15 minutes too much, you
Yes,
know?
because you can't go back.
Right, exactly. And he didn't know. He was being helpful, but it sends me into a tizzy when things aren't perfect. So I just don't even try to prepare holiday stuff. It's I don't know. It's definitely not in the kitchen, I can tell you that. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we did that podcast, I was doing keto. And so I bought a very specific type of champagne, which was keto approved because the carbs were like super simple, I guess, or I don't know. And it has become our favorite champagne. So you were saying like, "Oh, I love to get drunk." It reminded me that that's our like since we had it the first time I did with you. Remember I finished the whole bottle. I was like, "This is my favorite." And then that's the only one we buy now. And it's the only thing that we drink. And it's when you were saying that, I was like, that's exactly how I feel about the champagne, which I had 4 ounces of champagne, that champagne for Thanksgiving. Because I told my husband, I was like, I promise you this. I had like, one of these, like up to here. And it was so good. It was like the best thing I'd ever drank in my life. Because I guess because I haven't had any for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's unsettling
Um,
or
I
normal,
remember
but
joking about it because mine was a regular Sauvignon Blanc. It was white wine, right? It was white. And you were like, "Oh yeah, you probably have the best because you have all the flavors." Mine, they removed everything.
yes. Well, that's because I had the champagne and then I had that peach keto, whatever it was supposed to be. Actually, that peach keto thing was gross. It was yucky. It was that it's very dry champagne. I think it's by Corbel or I can't remember, which is weird because that's the only one we buy now. But I do it off of like photo memory, not off of what it says,
Mhm.
Like this bottle looks like the right bottle. But yeah, I miss champagne. I miss it a lot. And yeah, next year I'll get to have my champagne when we do
Yeah,
this meeting. So
yeah.
I'm excited.
Besides the bundle in the oven, what is something that you're proud of this year?
Um, Definitely this year I got my own office space. And I'm nobody like super important at my job. I'm just a normal person. It's just I work outside of headquarters because we are partially remote. And I asked to have a space that I could go to work.
Mhm.
And my company was able to facilitate that for me. And so the first time in my adult life, I have my own little office with a door and a bookcase and
I
a
love you
desk.
said with a door.
And it's my happy place. And I love it. I wish I could go there every day for work rather than be at home, which I do love. It's just life is, or work is more productive, in my opinion, when I'm in my office. I'm in my zone. I have everything that I need. I'm not sidetracked by the dogs or the husband or the kids. Like, certainly it takes a lot of planning to be productive at home versus when I get to go to work, I just close that door and I am in my happy spot for 6, 7 hours. Because we are remote, we're able to come in a little bit later, leave a little bit earlier, finish our work at home.
Mhm.
And me personally, I can't wait for the moment to where I can just come back to work and be in my happy space, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah.
So I'm super proud of that. I decorated it. I put all sorts of airplanes everywhere inside of it. I've got family photos. I bought like cute little things. Well, I say cute little things, but like my keyboard and my mouse and my little leather mat the keyboard and the mouse sits on. And I've got my the United States map up on the wall and it's all marked up of important places. And it's just nice to have my own little space and I love it. I'm very proud of it, which is such a weird thing, in my
No,
opinion, to
no,
be proud
I
of.
get
But
you. My dream is to have a little office of my for my,
yes, okay, you do get it. It's
I
like a
do
cat in a
get it.
box. It's
I do
like,
get it. I mean, we moved into this apartment, which is smaller than the other one. My desk is in our bedroom, but I don't get to do my interviews at not even at my desk because it's right next to the living room. So I can hear the TV and he can hear me. So I have to come in the kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen.
I love your kitchen. I think it's cute.
Oh, thank you. You only see one side of it, so
If it was me, I would have all my stuff shoved to the other side of the kitchen. I'd be like, "Do you like my clean kitchen?" Well, I've got like piles of dishes and
no, I okay, so don't tell anyone. I went to Goodwill today and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited with this interview with Kasey for Christmas. So I went and got like two little things, Christmas thing, they're right there. And I went to the dollar store and I grabbed a bunch of stuff, I'm like, I want to be drinking out of something Christmassy.
we actually do have a lot in common because I was so close to walking into Goodwill, and the only reason I didn't is because I took my 4-year-old with me to the dollar store, and he was pretty awful. And I was like, I'm not taking him to another store. We're going home. I say awful, he was his typical 4-year-old self. He
Yeah,
was a happy little boy, but
once
some
everything.
people, he wasn't even that. He just wanted to run. And I'm always like, you got to stand right next to me. You can't run everywhere. And
Oh,
then we bought bells for the front door. So he was smacking those bells around, which I thought was adorable, but I could tell that it was probably getting on some people's nerves. And,
yeah.
people just really want kids to be quiet, and I will never understand it. So, but I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this in Goodwill too. This is good. I got some Christmas
Yeah.
stuff and
Yeah.
but I was
We said
really close to also grabbing stuff from Goodwill.
our all of our decorations is in storage. We didn't bring anything. And then even before we got the cat, I was like, I'm not dealing with going to the storage, bringing stuff, because the storage is 1 hour away from us.
Yeah,
Because we already had that storage room when we were there. So I'm like, when we're packing to move, like just put everything we can in storage, less stuff to carry with us. So all the decorations went because we didn't need decorations right away over here.
right.
And then we got the cat, and we got a cat tree. You know.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're like, yeah, we don't get to have a Christmas tree, but the cat gets his tree.
I was actually just about to ask you if you had a tree up because before we got the Akitas, the cats were inside my Christmas tree all the time, just knocking stuff over. And so I traded that out for having Akitas to where I have to keep my eyes on the dogs and make sure they're not going over there and marking my tree. And I'm like,
Oh,
which one was worse, the cats in the tree or the dogs trying to pee on it? Pets, I'm telling you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah. Oh, I saw I told Richard like next year for a bigger place. So it's a Christmas tree, but this Christmas tree was made for people who has cat.
Okay.
So you put it together, and it's hollow on the inside. It's like the cats can go in the middle, in the deep of the tree, and climb and put their heads on the little window, and all around you would have your decoration. I was like, oh my God, I want that, you know?
I feel like in theory it would be great. I feel like in practice, that sounds like a really difficult tree to put together every year.
I saw the guy putting it together. He made it look very easy in the video, but you know,
I hope one day when we meet, you can give me an update and you're like, guess what I have? And you can show me your cat tree, your Christmas cat tree,
yeah.
because
Oh,
that sounds like a lot of work.
oh my God, yes, yeah.
What was one of your favorite things that you did receive for Christmas? Do you have any memories of something that you got for Christmas that you just kind of just loved, even as a kid?
As a kid, my godfather gave me a typewriter that now that I'm older, I'm like, "Ah, I wish I didn't get rid of, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the typewriter. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I think there's more things that I just can't think of it. The sucky thing is my birthday is right after Christmas, you know?
Like right after?
Right after January 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people give me presents. Oh, here, Christmas and birthday, you know? Yeah. I can't remember anything else. Yeah, but I think the typewriter for sure, you know, for sure. How about
That's
you?
a really cool Christmas present.
How about you? Do you have one?
Um, Not really. I do remember one time I wanted something really badly, and it was probably the Christmas before my mom passed away. No, I bet it was the Christmas right, like one before she passed away. I remember one Christmas she said that she would come spend it with us and she didn't. And it was like a big thing. It's a really sour memory for me. But I do remember, I think the Christmas before that, the Nano iPod came out. You remember the Nano iPod?
Yep.
Oh, I wanted one so bad. I think they were like $160 a piece. And I wanted it ridiculously bad, honestly, looking back now, being like, you spoiled little rotten kid. Like it was just a music device and an overpriced one at that. And I remember they gave me the box. My mom was there and my we were doing it at my dad's house. And they gave me the box, so I got like really excited that I'd gotten one. But then it was empty on the inside. And then they like I, I don't want to say they laughed at me, but they were pranking me and I didn't realize it. And so like I started crying hysterically because I was like I'd just gotten really excited and then like they were like, haha, we didn't get it for you, which sounds really cruel in my opinion.
Mhm.
And so then I started crying and then they're like, no, we did get it for you. And then they handed it to me. And looking back now, like that is a gift that I wanted so badly, but being on that roller coaster, um, it kind of has me like realizing like my parents were kind of mean a little bit. Being a kid, I never thought that they were very mean, but the more I reflect and the more like even with my husband, with my oldest son, sometimes I would do stuff and my husband would be like, "That's kind of mean. What you're doing is mean to your son." And I was like, "Is it?" Because like it's how I grew up and it's funny to me now, you know what I'm saying? Because it was supposed to be like a prank, a fun little prank, you know? And my husband would be like, no, that's not a fun little prank, Casey. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. I'm just going off of my childhood. I didn't realize it was a bad childhood until you like You know what I'm saying? Like, until someone points out and they go, yeah, normal people don't do that to their kids, sweetie.
Oh,
And
that's
it all clicks now when everybody's like, you're so mean, Kasey. I'm like, am I? Is there a different way to live life? Because, like, I didn't get that package, okay?
hey, we become what our parents were, you know?
Yes. Yeah, it takes a lot of unlearning for
They're
sure. And
they're uh-huh.
that's why I love my husband so much. He's like, I'm not trying to talk bad about my dad or my mom. They were just different. They raised me differently than he was raised and than my husband was raised. And it's just kind of nice to have someone be like, you can be nice, you can be kind. Like, you don't have to, it doesn't make you, I don't know, as vulnerable as you might think it does. So, uh, yeah, I don't know. But that's definitely a Christmas memory for me that I remember. But I would have loved a typewriter as a kid. That's a really cool.
I didn't even know how to type right, but I was there, you know?
Yeah, first off, they make a very nice sound. Okay. I want to say in my teens, I bought a typewriter from like a thrift store for that exact reason. And I eventually got rid of it. But it's so crazy how your memories just kind of fade over time. You don't really know, you know? It
Mm-hmm.
just seems so long ago.
Yeah. So in the beginning of the year, I went to this ladies meeting kind of thing. So we did a vision board, you know, and stuff. And the girl who's running, she made us choose a word for
Okay.
2024. So I want to ask you if you can choose one word for 2025 for your life, what word would it be?
It's been such a good year. 2024 was not a good year.
No,
And
but I mean the
2023,
word is 2025.
right. But the word that I want to pick for 2025 means you'd have to understand how bad the years before had been for me to understand how good it feels to be in 2025. And I can't think, like, I'm trying to think of what that word would represent and what it would be. Um, Something's definitely, I feel like the years before I was stuck in here's who I am, and I'm getting negative feedback for it over and over and over again. And who I am doesn't feel like it deserves that negative feedback. It feels like it's authentic, it's real, it's exactly what people need. And instead, I'm getting chastised for it. I'm getting chastised for being too meticulous. I'm getting chastised for picking what is the correct answer versus what the crowd wants to do. I'm getting chastised for being too happy all the time. I'm getting chastised for enjoying work too much and being happy that I'm here by my peers, you know? And it put me in a really down, depressed spot. And then
Hmm.
I went through like a few different companies that I worked for that were just awful. I worked under a crew chief that really thought that I was worthless, and it was very evident that he thought women was worthless, and it got me really, really down. And so 2024 had me in a state of these people seem really, really great. This company seems really, really great. When is someone going to come to me and tell me that I don't deserve to be here? Like those previous jobs made me feel that I wasn't qualified enough and that I was in the wrong space and I was the wrong type of person. 2024, going through that year, it felt like I was holding my breath, waiting for that other shoe to drop, where someone was going to say, actually, we don't think that we want you to be part of this team. We don't think that you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But it never came. All I got was positive feedback again and again. And so I guess for 2025, the the answer is validated. The question or the word for 2025 is validated. I feel validated and I feel like I'm not sure if we talked about it on the last podcast, but when I was working for that company in Tennessee and I kind of had a moment where I was like, God, you have to tell me either let this go and let me pick something else to do. Let me get out of aviation and get away from it because it feels like I don't belong here and I'm not supposed to be here, or I'm doing exactly everything like I'm supposed to be doing. And you've got to give me a sign to stay, stay exactly where I'm supposed to be. This is the path I'm supposed to be on. It's hard, but go forward. And what had happened is I met this couple in Tennessee and I was able to help them. And when they asked for my name and I got their name, it turned out that the girl had my same last name and I'd never met anyone with my last name before that was a stranger. And I was like, that is the clearest sign from God that I think anybody could ask for. Give me a sign that only I would know. I'd asked for a flower to bloom next to me. There was a crepe myrtle tree at the hotel, and I was like, just give me one bloom. Of course, it was winter, so it wasn't going to bloom. But instead, what happened is I was able to help them and then find that girl with the same last name. And at first, I was like, you're gonna have to show me your license because no one's gonna believe that we share the same last name unless I have, like, I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying I need a little bit more proof. Like, and anyone that I tell the story to is going to need some more proof too that you share the same last name as me. And yeah, and unfortunately, I'm not as close with those people as I was. But I still think of her a lot and wish that I could do more for her and her circumstances. But um, so anyway, I eventually left that other job, applied to come back to where I'm at now, and it has just been, I finally feel like I can breathe in 2025. No one's going to come to me and say, everything that you've worked for, everything that you are is wrong and you don't deserve it. And we're pushing you out of this space. So I feel validated for 2025.
That's great.
That's a really long answer, right? Are you going to edit all that out and just say validated?
No, I'm gonna leave it. I leave it in. People need to hear that, because that's what I always say about this podcast. I mean, not just mine, but a lot of other podcasts out there. Someone might hear your answer and be like, wait, that could be me next year. I could be feeling validated? Uh,
Right.
yeah. But no, I love that.
I mean, it was definitely one of the most spiritual moments I've had in my life to ask for something and get something so blatantly returned that there's no way that you could ever look at it and say, maybe it was a coincidence. I
Hmm.
feel like a lot of people say, well, how do you know that God is real? And you have people who say, like, I don't. And then you have people who finally say, well, I asked and I got an answer that can't be invalidated by anything. It
Hmm.
can't be proven wrong. And um, it just, gosh, it's nice to, faith is wonderful, but proof is better, I guess.
Yeah. No, I love that. It's really good. Sure.
What are you thinking 2026 is going to be like for you? Have you spent a lot of time fantasizing about it? I get really into the new year thing.
So, so how you were talking that 2025 was validated, was this validation for you? Um, when the word that I chose for 2024 was continuation. Why? 2024 was an awesome year for me. It was like I came out of my shell. It was like I always wanted to have something that I could talk. I always thought I have a story to tell. Is anybody going to hear? Probably not. That's when I came up with the story of the podcast. Towards the end of 2024, I was so happy. I was so freaking happy. I was going to the hair salon, dyed my hair blonde, you know. I was wearing red nails, red lips. I was like, yeah, this is me. Then 2025 come, depression. It was in the very beginning, but February, March, I was already, feeling this depression. I was still able to do the podcast. I got to a point that I did the interviews. I had 4 interviews that I didn't do the post production. And I could not bring myself to do it, Little by little, I did. Anyway, now we're towards the end of 2025, and I am feeling good again. And I'm just like, dear God, please don't let depression come at me again, the beginning of 2026. So I am just really praying that I just keep happy, that I just keep feeling good, feeling happy, and satisfied with my life. I am, but like, I still need to make more money. I still enjoy drinking wine and I cannot afford right now only the cheap stuff. And I was drinking, but I'm like, what's the point of drinking this awful wine and go down burning? No.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I stopped drinking, as often as I was. So yeah, I just want to be happy, feel the same way. I just want to get through next year on the same note that I am ending this year again. You know? Does that make sense?
Continuation?
Yeah, continuation, but I don't want to choose continuation because I chose for last year, but that didn't really happen. So it did not continue. So I'm just like, I don't know, just praying to God depression doesn't come again. I just want to continue to be happy, but I'm not choosing continuation again.
What would you choose then?
Although, cat.
Ah,
Best thing I we did this year for us. I mean, it was my idea to get a cat, and I was the one who wanted a black cat. And I just
nice.
love him so much.
I know. I see your post on Facebook.
Oh my God, I just love him so much. And today when I got home, I was like trying to wipe the table. We tried to keep him off the table, off the counter, but we're like, the
Cats do
apartment
what
is
they want.
small, so let
Yeah.
just him. And I'm just always like, if I have to cook, I'm disinfecting. I have the Clorox down there. So I was not disinfecting the table. We were not gonna use the table to eat, but I was cleaning the table. And he hopped on the table and thought it was a play. Everywhere I went with the paper towel, he was trying to grab the paper towel.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, let me clean. And then he lies down and he stretch. And I'm like, oh my God, I love you so much.
Did you get him as a kitten? Did I miss that?
No, he's from a shelter. He
Okay.
was, yeah, well, the day that I brought him home, he was 1 year old and 3 days.
Oh.
Still a kitten, kind of. Oh, he's so cute.
Does he like to cuddle?
No, is not a lap cat. No, the times that I get him in my arms, I am forcing him. I'm like,
Yeah.
love me, love me, love me. Forcing him to love me. Loves my husband.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I tell the cat as if he understands. I was the one who had the idea to get a cat. I was the one who wanted a black cat. Not him. Me. But you love
See,
him more. Okay.
they can sense it. That's what cats are known for. They will run from the person who wants to hug them into the arms of the person who wants nothing to do with them.
Oh no, my husband loves him. But he
Oh,
lets him hold him, you know?
what?
Yeah,
Well, maybe if you had a male, not companion, but an owner before he had to go
we don't know.
into
That's
the
the one
shelter.
thing. I've never done this business with a shelter, getting a cat or any kind of animal, because I told him, I'm like, should have asked where he come from. And I did. I was just so like excited and nervous, that I was like, I should have asked so many questions and I didn't.
Well, you could always get another cat.
Oh God, no. No, no, no. He's more than enough. Oh my God. He gets it everywhere. Everywhere. We had to cat proof the place, basically.
I believe it. I 100% believe it. We have 2 cats and 4 dogs in our house.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah.
Two
Yep.
cats and four dogs. Jeez, and you have two kids and one. You're crazy.
One on the way. Yeah. Yeah. I am crazy. I tell my husband all the time, I go after these pets, do their pet thing and we bury them. No more pets. We're done with the pets. We lived that saga of our lives.
Oh, my husband every morning, he says that the cat gets under the blanket and likes to scratch his feet.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, Then this morning, I got up to go. It was like 3 in the morning. I'm getting up to go in the bed, and I go around. I have to get out of my side and go around, to get to the bathroom. So I'm walking around. All I see is the cat with front paws under the blanket towards his feet. And then I got up, and he went like this, and then he went like this, and then he went, and then watch me walking all the way to the bathroom. And I get in the bed, I sit on the toilet, I hear my husband. Ouch, 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 you son of a bitch. Stop.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm okay with you being the favorite because I don't want to wake up with scratches on
Yeah.
my feet. No way.
No, you don't.
So
Trust me.
because of that, that's fine. You can be the favorite. But it was awesome to do this with you again. And let's make this a tradition. I don't have any traditions. You don't have any tradition. This could be our tradition.
This is gonna be our tradition. I
I
told my husband, I was like, "Do you think it's trashy if I have you bring me champagne in the hospital? Because that is how much I would enjoy a glass of champagne."
Do it. I've seen pictures of mom with a newborn here and eating sushi.
Yes, that was what I asked for. Champagne and sushi as soon as that
Do
baby
that.
comes out.
Do it. Do it. Take pictures and post it on social media like
Oh,
everyone else does.
I am. I 100% am. I'm really looking forward to
And
it.
this
And
was
like,
awesome to do this with you again. We're definitely gonna do it again for the third time, fourth time. But yeah, thank you so much for doing this again with me. And a
I
Merry
had a lot of
Christmas.
fun.
It was so much
Merry
fun.
Christmas to you too.